Hello and welcome to another tutorial video for BTD Battles. So in this video we're going to be talking about the different towers in this video, different towers in the game and the strengths and weaknesses. So that's there are 22 different towers in this game, and it's very important to pick the right ones, because if you pick bad towers, you're putting yourself at a very big disadvantage compared to your opponent, and you'll probably lose. So let's start off with the Dart Monkey. We'll go through the Cobra tower later, because newer players don't have this tower yet. Okay, so for the Dart Monkey, it's a very good early game tower, because the triple darts upgrade is one of the best upgrades for rounds 2 until round 18, because the triple dart is a very cheap upgrade compared to stuff like Ninja and Super Monkey. So this is the Dart Monkey is able to very cost efficiently pop a lot of Bloons. There's also the Spikopult upgrade, which you're gonna need to defend group Bloons. This is also one of the best ways that you can deal with group Bloons. So for example, if round 13 they rush you with Zebras, you can get up like a few Spikopults or Juggernauts, and that should be able to easily defend the rush. So there's also this upgrade, which enhanced eyesight, which lets your dart see camo. You're gonna have to upgrade to tier 2 on the left side so that your dart can see camos. But you only have to do that on round 12. You don't need to upgrade your dart monkeys to see camo before round 12, otherwise it's kind of a waste of money. So the most expensive upgrade of the dart monkey is the Super Monkey Fan Club. This lets your dart monkey shoot very fast, so this is good for taking down BFBs, and it's also good for popping the ZOMG layer so that you can use other towers to defend when it pops to BFBs. The Super Monkey Fan Club is also good for round 13. Like if you're gonna die, you can try to sell all your farms and build a Super Monkey Fan Club and use it so that it can defend. It's pretty easy if you have enough money. But when you use a Super Monkey Fan Club, you're gonna need to upgrade all your darts to razor sharp shots so that it pops 4 Bloons per shot instead of 1 Bloon. Let's move on to the Tack shooter. This tower is also a very good early game tower, but its main weakness is it can't see camo, and it's kind of bad against ZOMGs. So usually at the start of the game I would get a 2-3 Tack shooter, so it's even faster shooting, and blade shooter. So that will defend up to greens. It can defend yellows if you boost. To defend leads, you can get a Ring of Fire, but usually I get another tower which can pop leads like Mortar or Wizard. So the Blade Maelstrom ability is pretty good, because you can pop a lot of Bloons. It has infinite Pierce, I think. If it's either infinite or it's a really big amount. So let's say if you pop a MOAB, you can place a Tack next to the track and use Blade Maelstrom, and that will take care of all the ceramics. Tack Sprayer is also good for popping the MOAB or BFB or ZOMG layer, because this, if you put it next to the track, it will do 16 damage at a time if all the Tacks hit the BFB. Let's move on to the Ninja Monkey. This tower is not so good late game because it's not very cost effective. You would want to get a double shot with Seeking Shuriken for, let's say, round 6 if they send blacks. But even greens can overwhelm such a double shot ninja. There's also the Bloonjitsu upgrade, which is good against MOABs. You can spam Bloonjitsus to defend BFBs and ZOMGs. So it's the only lead detection that the ninja have is the flash bomb upgrade, which is $2,750 if I remember correctly. There's also a sabotage supply lines ability, and this is good for late game because it can slow down the balloons to half speed. Let's move on to the bomb tower. This tower is not a very commonly used tower. It's not really a good tower, but it can be good for group balloons. So you can get like the cluster bombs upgrade, and that should defend like yellows or whites. There's also the balloon impact, which is it stuns all the balloons, makes them not move. And for MOAB class, you're gonna buy a MOAB Mauler or MOAB Assassin. However, the bomb tower cannot see camos, so you're gonna need to have like another tower which can see camo. I wouldn't recommend using bomb unless you know what you're doing. So let's move on to the sniper monkey. It's also not a good tower. Usually no one uses sniper because it's pretty expensive and it doesn't pop that many balloons. So you can, to pop LEDs, you're gonna need the full metal jacket upgrade. The sniper is good against strong balloons, but it's very weak against group balloons. So the best upgrade, the best use of sniper is the cripple MOAB and the lead detection, I think. So let's say if you get sniper as a 4th tower, you can use full metal jacket to pop LEDs instead of buying like a juggernaut if you're going dart. You can also use the cripple MOAB to slow down ZOMGs if they're sending you space ZOMGs. That can be very useful. So let's move on to the Boomerang tower. It's a very good early game tower. However, it's very bad against like BFBs and ZOMGs. So at the start, you're gonna need a glaive thrower, and then you can upgrade it to glaive ricochet or bionic boomer. Both of these upgrades are pretty good. Glaive ricochet is to pop like when you have a ton of balloons. You can buy the glaive ricochet and it can hit up to 100 balloons, I think. Whereas the bionic boomer, it shoots the boomerangs faster, so it's good against stronger balloons like ceramics. But the ricochet is terrible against ceramics because it only shoots one at a time. It's pretty slow. So glaive lord, it can do a lot of pops because the glaives are like permanently there. However, it's also bad against ceramics. There's also turbocharge, which a lot of people like to use. So on short maps, you're gonna, if they send you like rainbows on round 13 and you want to defend, you can use turbocharge and boost, and that should defend. So let's move on to the monkey Apprentice, also known as the wizard. So this tower is one of the cheapest lead detection tower. It's good for like if you're using boat farm Apprentice or duck farm Apprentice. So the lightning bolt is a very good upgrade. You can use it for early game to pop like group balloons. You're gonna need the monkey sense upgrade for camo detection. Summon whirlwind is used when, let's say you pop the MOAB and the ceramics are getting pretty far. You can use this upgrade to blow the ceramics back to the start. But you're gonna have to time the Apprentice upgrade because it shoots pretty slowly, so it's kind of luck based unless you're a really good player and you know how to buy the upgrade so that it is timed well and it can hit the ceramics, because if you don't time it well, the ceramics can go past and it will not shoot at the ceramics. The Dragon Breath ability is good for MOABs. There's also Tempest Tornado, which is good for group Bloons, but it's bad against regens. Like if they send you regen rainbows, do not buy Summon Whirlwind or Tempest Tornado because it's gonna regen farm and you're gonna have a very hard time to pop the Bloons. The Summon Phoenix ability is used when you want to pop like BFBs and ZOMGs. Let's move on to the Buccaneer, also known as Bolt. So the first upgrade you're gonna buy is Grape Shot because it helps you to pop more Bloons. You should buy the Grape Shot instead of the faster firing upgrade first. After you buy the Grape Shot, you can buy the faster shooting, so you can defend stuff like blacks. There's also longer cannons, give you more range. Crow's Nest give you camo detection. Destroyer is a very cheap upgrade. You can cheaply defend Bloons. To defend a MOAB, you can use like 4 destroyers, and it should defend a MOAB, provided your destroyers are in a good position. Or you can have 3 destroyers and boost. So the only lead detection is Cannon Ship, which is kind of a bad upgrade in my opinion because it shoots the bombs pretty slowly and the bombs have like a small explosion radius, so it's terrible against like grouped leads, like if they send you round 15. So that's why you're gonna need a tower such as Wizard or Boomerang, so it can help you pop the leads more easily, and then you can use destroyers to clean up. So there's also Aircraft Carrier and Monkey Pirates. Aircraft Carrier is used when they send you like a ZOMG, and you can buy Aircraft Carrier. It does damage pretty quickly, so you can pop the ZOMG into BFBs. But once it pops, you should sell this Aircraft Carrier and then buy Monkey Pirates so that you can take down the BFBs. So Monkey Pirates can it will destroy the biggest Bloon on the screen, unless it's a ZOMG. It can't instantly kill ZOMGs, but it can instantly kill BFBs. And the reason why you want to sell your Aircraft Carrier after you pop a ZOMG is because you don't want to pop the BFBs. You want to use Monkey Pirates 4 times to get up to destroy all 4 BFBs, because if they pop into MOABs, it's gonna be pretty difficult to defend. So we have Spike Factory. This is not a very good tower. The main strategy used with this tower is Engineer farms Factory and Boomerang farms Factory, but those are pretty weird strategies. You're gonna need to get used to using them. Bigger stacks will like double your spike production. White hot spikes pops lead, faster production, and even faster production is pretty self-explanatory. Spike ball factory shoots spikes balls which can pop 40 Bloons at a time. MOAB shredder spikes will do more damage to MOAB class Bloons. Spike mines is kind of a bad upgrade. I wouldn't recommend using it. It explodes, but doesn't do that much damage, but it costs, I think, 12,000. It's very expensive, so I wouldn't recommend using it. There's also Spike Storm, which you can use to defend BFBs or ZOMGs, but it's gonna pop a BFB into ceramics, but you're gonna need to use, like, if you're going engineer, you can use Bloon traps to collect the ceramics. Or if you're going Boomerang, you can use Turbocharge to destroy the ceramics. So let's move on to Glue. This is one of the worst towers in the game. You probably shouldn't use this tower unless you are playing for fun. Like if you don't mind losing, then you can use this tower. I don't really use this tower much, so I don't know much about this tower, but even in like random trio modes, if you get Glue, you're probably not gonna use it. So corrosive glue helps you to pop the balloons. If you don't have corrosive glue, the balloons will not pop, it will just be slowed down. Glue holes will shoot at balloons more quickly. Balloon dissolver pops balloons more quickly. There's also this glue striker ability which helps you to store all the balloons on the screen. It's something like the glue storm power. Let's move on to ice tower. This is a good tower as well. You can use it to freeze balloons. There's snap freeze. A good strategy with ice is Heli farm ice. There's also wizard farm ice and ninja farm ice, but those are a bit more difficult to use. So the main thing with ice is you can get ice shards, and this will destroy a lot of balloons around its area. Like if they send you leads, you can get ice shards and it will defend the leads very easily. Arctic wind is it increases the range of the ice tower, and all the balloons which are in this range will move very slowly. However, it's weak against regens. If they send you regens and you use this upgrade, it's gonna regen farm. Viral frost can pop whites, but I don't really use this upgrade. It's kind of expensive and doesn't do that much. There's also absolute zero. This is one of the best abilities. It freezes all the balloons, and like for MOAB class balloons, it solves them to half speed. It's something like sabotage supply lines from Ninja, but it's cheaper. However, new balloons which come into the screen are not frozen, unlike in the Ninja ability. So let's move on to the Monkey Ace. The tier 1 and 2 upgrades are pretty bad. You're gonna need tier 2 to spy plane to detect camo. For tier 3, never miss targeting is pretty bad. I wouldn't recommend it. You should use Operation Dartstorm instead, and that will pop a lot of balloons. Like if they send you a round 13 rush and you're going something like Dart Farm Ace, you can use an ODS to pop the rainbows. However, you're gonna need to know how to micro the ace path, which is kind of a difficult thing to do. There's also the Spectre, which is good against like group balloons and ceramics. You can use a Spectre to damage ZOMGs into BFBs as well. So a ground zero is a good ability. You can use it to destroy BFBs into nothing. However, you should damage the BFBs first, because if the BFBs are not damaged, then if you use a ground zero, it might not completely destroy it, so you have to use it again. Okay, moving on, we have the mortar tower. This tower is good with Tack, so you can use Tack farm mortar. There's also Ninja farm mortar. It was good like in 2017, I think, but it's not so good now. You can use this tower to destroy like leads. Oh, another strategy which is workable is boat farm mortar. You can use mortar to destroy the leads, and then you can use destroyers to pop the remaining stuff. So for Tack farm mortar, you're gonna need a signal flare to like wipe out the camo, so that the camo balloons turn into normal balloons. However, this upgrade has like a pop limit. Let's say if they send you a lot of grouped camos, you might not be able to pop all of them at once. So some of the camos will still sneak by. So to counter this, you can just build 2 signal flares, and that should be enough. There's also the artillery battery ability, and this stalls all the balloons. It's pretty good. So like if you're going Tack farm mortar and they send you a BFB, you can stall the MOABs. After you pop the BFB layer, you can stall the MOABs so that you have time to use the Maelstrom ability to destroy all the MOABs. It stalls MOABs for a long time, but for BFBs, it only stalls it for a short time, and for ZOMGs, it barely even stalls it. It gets stopped for like half a second or something like that. We have Banana Farm. This is one of the best towers in the game. You should use Banana Farm unless you are going Eco or you're going Cobra. So Banana Farm, at first you're gonna need to buy more bananas and banana plantation. And then you're gonna buy Banana Republic. Or you can sell your plantations to buy like a Banana Investments Advisory, also known as BIA, and or you can get a Banana Research Facility, also known as Factory. The long life banana upgrade is kind of unnecessary if you have farmers. The valuable bananas, you should only get it if you have a factory. If you don't have a factory, then this is definitely not worth it because it's $4,000. The monkey bank is kind of a bad upgrade. You should go straight for a BIA instead of having a monkey bank. So a common question is whether factory or BIA is better. So in my opinion, BIA is better than factory when you're going late game. And a factory is better when you're planning to rush your opponent early. So let's say you're going Tech Farm Mortar, and you don't want to go late game because it can't defend ZOMGs. So you should buy factories instead of BIAs. Whereas let's say you're going Heli Farm Ice and you're able to survive up to round 35. So at round 14 you should buy a BIA instead of going for a factory. However, in Bonanza you should get facilities because they give you more money. Also, if you're going Ninja Farm NG, you should go for factories instead of BIAs, because for engineer strats you want to be aggressive and send your opponents like BFBs and ZOMGs, which if you got a BIA, it will sending those Bloons will destroy your eco, so there's no point getting a BIA. Now the Super Monkey, this tower is very bad for normal games. It's only good if you're playing in Bonanza mode, because all the upgrades are very expensive. So you're gonna use like Sun Gods or Techno Terrors, like if you're going Bonanza, or you can get a Temple of the Monkey God, which costs 100,000. You can also put other towers next to the Sun God to sacrifice it when you upgrade it to the temple. It will sacrifice all the towers in its range, so it helps to make the temple more powerful. However, I don't recommend using Super Monkey in normal games. A lot of newer players use Super Monkey, but it's very cost ineffective. Now we have the Monkey Village. This tower is good if you're going Heli Ice Village or Ninja Ice Village. Other than that, it's not a very good tower. Unless you get it as if you get it as a fourth tower, then when you are gonna buy your BIA or your factory, you should put down a village before upgrading it to a factory. And then after that, you can sell your village. So that helps you to save a bit of money. So for this village, you can have Monkey Fort. It increases the popping power by 1, meaning your towers can hit like 1 more balloon for every projectile it shoots. So example, if you have a Dart Monkey, a triple dart, like let's say you can pop 4 balloons at a time, but if you put it under a Monkey Fort, it will help it to pop 5 balloons at a time instead. Radar scanner helps you to detect camo. Monkey beacon helps you to increase the range. You can read, you can read the descriptions by yourself if you want later. The ability, MIB call to arms, it doubles the attack speed. So if you're going something like Heli Ice Village, you should put the village next to your helis and then use the ability so that all your helis shoot twice as fast. So let's move on to the Dartling. Whoops, I clicked the wrong one. Dartling gun. This one is good for early game. It's also good for like speed mode. I use Dartling when it comes to maps like Mountain Pass and Zen Garden because those maps have kind of a weird shape. It's hard to target your towers. So let's say Zen Garden, there's two different paths, so your Dart Monkey has to decide between hitting the AI path and the balloon path, and sometimes it hits the path with less balloons, which is not as efficient. So I like to buy Dartling so that I can decide which path I want to hit myself. So the first upgrade you should buy is the powerful darts. I usually don't buy the focus firing upgrade because it just helps your Dartling to like shoot more accurately, but it doesn't help it to pop more balloons. So for round 13, if they rush you, you can get a laser cannon, but you have to boost. Otherwise, it's still not enough to defend round 13. You can also have hydro rocket pods and BADS to defend ZOMGs, but it's not that good. The Ray of Doom upgrade is very expensive. I think it's like 60,000. You shouldn't get this upgrade in my opinion because it's not that good for its cost compared to stuff like Spectre. Okay, so there's Heli. This is also a pretty good tower. Some would say it's a broken tower, but okay, so the first upgrade you should get is Quart Darts. This will help it to defend blues. After that, you should get a Razor Rotors. They should defend yellows. And then you can get the enhanced IFR instruments to detect camo. Okay, when you upgrade it Heli to Pursuit, you should press the targeting, like press the left button twice so that it's not on Pursuit. You should set it to follow touch and then aim the helis by itself. Because if you put it to Pursuit, the heli is gonna be like off the track and shooting at the track. But you want your heli to be on top of the track because so that the Razor Rotors can hit the balloons to do more damage. So a lot of new players will put it on Pursuit, which is really bad. It makes your heli pop less. Very good upgrade is Apache Dart Ship. It can destroy a BFB. The downdraft and support Chinook upgrades are not very good. You shouldn't use them unless you know what you're doing. So the engineer is good for group balloons. Basically, you get a balloon trap, and then it will collect all the balloons for money. But it doesn't really detect camo. There's some cleansing foam, but it will detect some of the camo balloons, but not all of them. So you should get another tower which detects camo, like Ninja or Spike Factory. There's also the overclock upgrade, which is not very commonly used, but you can use it to boost like an Apache, like if you're going Heli Farm Engineer. But engineer strategies are kind of uncommon. It's kind of weird to use. So there's Bloon Chipper. This tower was very good in 2016, but Ninja Kiwi nerfed it to not detect ZOMGs. Like it can't suck them in anymore. So it's kind of a bad tower now. You shouldn't use Bloon Chipper unless you really know what you're doing. There's Monkey Sub. Reactor is one of the best upgrades for Monkey Sub. You can use it to destroy all the balloons in its radius. You should put it in a spot where like most of the balloons are inside the radius so that it can pop the balloons. If you buy the submerge and support upgrade, then you should set it to the submerge targeting so that it actually hits the camos. But if you want to attack balloons using it, then set it to first so that it shoots balloons. But you can't pop balloons and remove camo at the same time. There's also airburst darts, which is good against blues. Ballistic missile is good against MOABs. First strike helps you to destroy up to a ZOMG in one go, but let's say if it's round 32, if they send you a ZOMG, the first strike ability will not be able to completely destroy it in one shot. So you're gonna need to shoot it multiple times. So last but not least, we have the Cobra tower. This tower can be very annoying to face. The main point of using Cobra is balloon adjustment. So if you get up like 10 balloon adjustments, your opponent will receive like ceramics in the AI, which is pretty annoying to deal with. There's also attrition, which steals lives, but it's not that useful. There's monkey stim. It helps you to helps your boost to like your powers. You're gonna need to wait 15 seconds for the power to come back instead of 30 seconds. So it's good if you want to use the power immediately instead of waiting for the cooldown. Offensive push is used in modes like Bonanza. Let's say you want to get a quick win. You can build a bunch of offensive pushes. You can send like rushes more quickly. If you're going like Cobra in non-Bonanza mode, offensive push might be a bit expensive, but if you know what you're doing, you can send a BFB on like round 18 that could be pretty deadly to your opponent if they don't have good towers which can destroy a BFB. There's also misdirection, so if they send you a BFB, you can misdirect the BFB. So what it does is the BFB goes to their side of the screen. So they have to defend the BFB. But the downside of misdirection is that when you buy it, you have to wait a few seconds for it to load. So you gotta try to not destroy the BFB while you're waiting for the cooldown. Otherwise, you can get up a misdirection in advance. So that if they send you a BFB, you can misdirect it immediately. But if you already have a misdirection in advance, they probably won't send you a BFB if they can see. So that's it for all the towers in this game. There's also Farmer and Robo Farmer. It just collects bananas. So thank you for watching this tutorial video and see you next time.